unto Elisha, I don't have anything in my house but a pot of oil. Now, she told the right person. Notice she didn't go down the street and tell her girlfriends. Like we like to run our mouths and tell everybody else and folks that can't even help us no way. Folks that's going to be in our misery with us because misery loves company. But notice she told the man of God, Elisha. She said, I don't have anything in my house but a small pot of oil. And he told her to do something. What did he tell her to do? Go in the house and shut the door. And then I want you to do what? Borrow, no, look, verse 3, come on, y'all. Borrow vessels from all your neighbors, even the empty vessels. Don't borrow a few. Now, she went to the right person, the man of God. Y'all got that? And when you go to the man or woman of God and they tell you something, please tell me why we end up doing everything opposite of what they tell us. We try to analyze it, philosophize about it. You know, she couldn't mean for me to do that. He telling me, I just told him that the creditor is on his way to take me and my sons, use them as slaves. And he telling me to go in the house, shut the door, and get all the vessels in the house, even the empty ones. Because she said she had but one pot of oil. And we have to obey the man or woman of God. This is what this verse is telling us. I told y'all on Wednesday night, I was taught last Monday, I was ministered to. You can disrespect the man or woman of God if you want to. I'm going to say it again because y'all got quiet. You can be messy and surly and petty and disrespectful to the man or God if you want to. But I was reminded through the word of God, all it will do is distance your destiny. And because we don't know the fulfillment of our destiny, we're just distancing ourselves from our destiny being pushed farther and farther back. You may not like what the man or woman of God says. I didn't always like when that was coming up, what my pastor said. I remember one Sunday years ago, a deaconess had, I came to pick up my mom, and a deaconess got, not deaconess, prayer band member got all in my face about she didn't even know why I didn't come to church. She just speculated and just carried on with me, all embarrassing. I said, I ain't going back to church. I missed one Sunday, but by the second Sunday, my pastor sent for me and said, listen here, I don't know what you're doing, but let me tell you what you're going to do next Sunday. I'm going to see you in church. Am I right about it? I said, mm-hmm. Now, I still had an attitude with the lady. He said, listen, it ain't about her. Pray for her, but get your booty butt up in church. So we want to be disrespectful. And I told you on Wednesday night, listen, the word shows it. Miriam wanted to disrespect Moses. Miriam wanted to run her mouth, speak out against Moses, because she didn't like what Moses said. She didn't like what Moses was going to do. He was going to marry the black man. But I'm here Moses was going to marry the black woman, but I'm here to tell you that God struck her with leprosy for running her mouth and speaking against the leader. I'm here to tell y'all today, you can mess around and you can speak against, or you can be a party to those who are speaking against. I ain't gonna worry myself about it. Because God, if he did it to Moses' sister Miriam and his brother Aaron, did he not? And against the grumbling, complaining Israelites, he'll do it for me. So y'all keep on Facebooking and texting and into Instagram and tweeting and whatever else, because you want to be all in their mess with them instead of telling them what's right. Say, listen, pull up your girdle, get over it, and dare not disrespect the man or woman of God. You better listen. She listened to Elisha. It's the word. I ain't making nothing up this morning. She listened to Elisha. And she did what the man of God told her. What did she do? I heard it. She obeyed him. That's what we have to do to God. We have to obey God. Sometimes it seems cumbersome. Sometimes it seems hard. Sometimes it seems a little harsh. But we have to obey God. And we must obey those that God uses in our small starts. She ain't had much. Oh, she didn't have much. She ain't had much. She only had a pot of oil. Y'all with me? Don't get distracted. And she said, and listen, he said, listen, when you go in, shut the door upon thee and thy sons. That means keep it in the house. Somebody shout, keep it in the house. In other words, don't go and get lottie-dottie and everybody, but keep it in the house. Do it the way that he said. She did what she was commanded to do, and she did it in faith because, listen, it's easy to say, I ain't got but a little pot of oil. They trying to come and get me, make my children a slave. And you know, the hardest thing is when our children are being victimized, that we don't get all in our feelings. But the end result answered by and by. God takes care to deliver his servants in ways that exercise their faith. He would not have them be in little faith, for faith is the wealth of the heavenly life. We got to have faith. We can't say, oh, this ain't going to never work. This ain't going to never do. How you going to be bigger than God? How you going to know more than him? How you think you got all the answers? Now, some of us think so. We got all the answers. We know everything. Can't nobody tell us nothing. But we got to obey God by faith. If he say get up and do so and so, we got to get up and do it because we have to realize that he will give the provisions. You have God in the measure in which you desire him. Only remember that desire that brings God must be more than a feeble, fleeting wish. Wishing is one thing. Here it is. But willingness is quite another. Lazily wishing, I hope it get better. I hope I get this job. I hope. And we wishing, but we don't do nothing. We don't do what we're supposed to do in order for it to take place. Strenuously desiring are two entirely different postures of mind. The former gets nothing. Lazily wishing gets nothing. And the latter gets everything. When we strenuously desire, God, I don't know how you're going to do it. But I know you're going to do it somehow. The Lord will make a way somehow. When beneath his brow I bow, he'll make a way. And I'm going to remind you again, the old folks said he may not come when you want him to come, but he'll come right on time. He may not do it the way you want him to do it, but because he's omniscient, he's all-knowing, because he's omnipotent, he's all-powerful, because he's omnipresent, he's an everywhere God. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust him till I die. I'm going to stay on the battlefield. I'm going to stay on the battlefield, and I'm going to trust him. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but I will trust in the name of the Lord. For the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in, and they are safe. I'm going to keep on believing. God will answer prayers. Keep on believing. Never despair. He told her to pour it into all the vessels and then set aside the full ones. Elijah told the woman to take what she had. 1 jar of oil is all that she had, and to pour that out in faith into the borrowed vessels. Remember, he told her to go borrow the vessels from her neighbors. So when he tells us go and do, we got to go and do by faith. We can't lay around and say, oh, I just don't feel like it. Can you imagine if God told us, I just don't feel like it? I just don't feel like blessing you today. I just don't feel like taking you where you need to go. I just don't feel like covering you in my son's blood. Can you imagine? Then how we going to tell him, I just don't feel like it? We have to ask him, Lord, give me strength to get up and to do. Lord, give me the willpower to endure. Because you said that if we endure to the end. You said if we wait on you. Wait on you means don't be trying to fix it yourself. Now, she could have went to the market. Listen, she could have went to the market and sold the oil. But that's not what he told her to do. He told her by faith, go and borrow. Now, notice, as she did what the prophet told her to do, and I'm going to say it again because some folks just came in. You better learn to do what the woman and man of God say do.
Jesus. Hallelujah.
What the Spirit say do? The Spirit say, listen, convict our hearts, humble yourself, go on back, apologize, and get what you need from where I placed you. Now, you can sit at home if you want to. Tell me, I ain't going back up there. I ain't apologizing. I ain't going to say, no, okay, all right. Yes, you are setting yourself up. Ain't nobody setting you up. Ain't nobody doing nothing to you. You setting your crazy self up. Because you're not going to get. You just distancing your destiny. And I'm amused and amazed at people that look and think they laughing at me. Oh, see, I ain't coming to your church no more. Ha, 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 ha. This ain't my church. It's the Lord's church. Jesus is Lord. This has been established on His word. It's the Lord's church. You ain't getting me. As Deacon Richardson said, you be the get gotten. You ain't getting me. Tell him that that's what is being said. You ain't getting her. You ain't getting him. You better do it the way that the Lord say do it. And as she did, the oil miraculously kept pouring from the original vessel. Now remember, she only had a little bit. God works through small things. She only had a little bit. But miraculously, because as the Richard said, she obeyed. She kept on pouring. She kept on pouring. She kept on pouring, and the oil miraculously kept pouring from the original vessel until all the borrowed vessels were all filled up. At the end of it, she had a lot of oil. Now we notice that Elijah made her do this. He didn't do it. He made her do it. Now perhaps he was tempted to gather the vessels and pour the oil himself, but he knew what? She had to trust God herself. Listen, you can't trust God based on mama. You can't trust God based on your boo-tang. You can't trust God based on your daddy or granddaddy. You can't trust God based on your wife or your husband. I gotta trust him for myself. I ain't gonna go to church because you ain't going. Get yourself up, wash your nasty body, put some clothes on, and come and get it for yourself. This not no dual plan. It's not a family plan. Some of us think because we with somebody that no. He not gonna ask you nothing about the partner, the family member. He gonna ask you about yourself. Elijah could have went and did it. He's the man of God, the prophet. He could have done it himself, but he knew she had to trust God. The original vessel of oil, the one the woman had in her house, was a smaller vessel that held only oil for anointing. This means that the distribution of the oil into the other vessels required constant pouring and allowing the oil to supernaturally fill the small vessel again. God works through small things. He works through it supernaturally. Sometimes he'll take you to the head of the class, and you ain't even supposed to be at the head of the class. Sometimes he'll give you a job that you don't have not nary credential for. Sometimes he'll allow you to do things that you never experienced or studied for, but because that's what he's destined and purposed for you. He'll move people and he'll usher you right on through supernaturally. I dare not want to trust anybody else. I'm going to trust in him because He can give me and take me. He can keep me from some stuff that I think that I want. And then he can supernaturally blow me up to fly right on over the distractions and the folks that's trying to hold me back. The vessels also had to be empty before they could be filled with oil. It did no good to bring the widow full vessels. Notice she borrowed empty vessels. A full Christ is for empty sinners, and for empty sinners only. As long as there is a really empty soul, so long will be a blessing that go forth with his word, and no longer. It's not our emptiness, but our fullness, which can hinder the outgoing of the free grace. Listen. So the oil ceased. You see it there? Here she took the small vessel, like the prophet told her. God is telling you today to place the small thing in my hand. Let me work supernaturally in you. Let me do with you and for you what no other power can do. She did borrow enough so the excess oil was sold and provided money to pay the debt to the creditor and to provide to her future. Let me finish up next week. Listen, I just came to remind us today that Jesus born in a lowly manger, coming through 42 generations in a feeding trough for animals. He didn't come to a royal palace. He didn't come to London, England. He didn't have all of the cascades of the cameras watching him. But he was born in a lonely manger, grew in wisdom and stature. But he came because we who were empty needed to be filled supernaturally. He came to fill us up and to overflow in our lives. He said, the thief come to steal, kill, and destroy. But I've come that you might have life and